More bad news in the banking sector, and this is going around one of the biggest digital payment ecosystems out there. You guys know this one is Zelle. We're going to dive into this one today. It's an interesting topic because I think it affects Bitcoin and maybe the use of crypto payments in the future. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. Let's get into it. Look here. Zelle fraud is rising and banks are not coming to the rescue. This is the headline. One of the things that happens around Zelle that I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize, let me kind of scan down in this article. Zelle is now by far the largest peer-to-peer payment system in America. Last year, according to Zelle transactions, totaled of $490 billion, up 59% from the year before. And of course, this is a direct competitor to PayPal's Venmo, its closest rival, which was around $230 billion. Now, the point is this. When Zelle is looked at by all the banks, and I'll show you who owns this toward the end of the video, so stick around for that. But point is that the issue is the fraud problems that are occurring with Zelle. And this, of course, has created a massive influx of pressure on the system. You can kind of see here from Down Detector. Right here, we said saw problems this morning, mostly Bank of America. And you can kind of see just the flow of happening from around 5 a.m. Boom, 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 boom. And we have a big outage here. Now, the question is how does this affect overall strategies around digital payments for banks? And this is one of the things I think that will start to play out this year in this narrative going forward. Here's an example of a former Bank of America manager. He was told to push people to use Zelle to get people out of the branch. Then branch closes due to lack of clients, customer service staff is reduced. Then, this happens. And this is a problem right now because the issue with the Zelle fraud scenario is not necessarily protected under the Consumer Protection Credit Act. And the reason is because it's not a credit card. So that in itself has already started to create a lot of issues within it. Here's a good example from some people that are experiencing the problem. So if you sent Zelle to a Bank of America account between Jan 14 and 17, it won't show up in your account yet. Sorry for the inconvenience. So you can kind of see how Bank of America is dealing with problems right now. Not very fast in terms of speed. Further into this, more tweets out there. I'm pissed. Bank of America and Zelle, y'all need to get it together. I need my money. I've been calling for BOA since 8 a.m. this morning, and after 45 minutes on hold, they literally started ending the calls. So this to me tells me that maybe this problem is much greater than many people are looking at. Some people can't even afford to have these negative balances, which is one of the things that is happening is it completely zeroes out your account of your Zelle transactions, and those affect your direct balance in your account itself. So this is a situation that many, I think, when we see these kinds of scenarios, digital payments, how we'll see digital transactions move forward. This is why blockchain, people, is the answer. The amount of blockchain problems I have had versus Zelle, Venmo, PayPal is minuscule in comparison. Now, I use blockchain quite a bit for payments and sending funds and all of that. It's easy to trace. It's done in minutes in most cases, depending on which chain you're on. But for the most part, much more simple and easy to integrate. Here's another tweet right here. Anything going through the BOA. BS, make sure you screenshot all your Zelle transactions that were sent to your messages. He's literally in the negative right now, and they're also charging overdrafts on this. So again, this is another problem that is out there that blockchain will fix and solve because of the validator system that is involved around sending money through a blockchain. So big problems, big problems. Value of transfers sent in 2022. Look at the numbers here. Zelle, 620 billion. PayPal, 1.3 trillion. Stable coins, 7 trillion. See the difference here, people. The potential here for blockchain absolutely dislodging the traditional digital tests that these banks are doing is real. And the opportunity is real because the opportunity around whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, any of those are all rising in terms of use case. The key here is that we just don't have a really good, sexy on-ramp for this to be done. Transactions on Ethereum up 338% higher in 2022, but Bitcoin obviously remaining as the most popular, mainly because it's cheap to send. So that's a big thing that I think we'll probably see more and more banks move into this direction. Think about this too. Speed has always been one of the killer apps of blockchain. because of the ability. And now, sure, there are times when the network gets sluggish, usually because of transactions. That has happened on Ethereum. That is starting to change. But the point here is that Zelle right now, they say are happening very quickly. And what we're talking about in many cases are days before we see these transactions going through. So big problem. Look at the peer-to-peer payment transaction value between 2019 and the forecasted 2026. This gets to a position really by 2026 to where this becomes too big to fail. That would be a problem because we would be entering into a digital nightmare around our banking system. If you're using Zelle right now, guys, just stop. That's all you have to do. Stop with using Zelle. Go back to traditional models of sending money, through an electronic check, dare I say. But the best thing you can do is just jump over here to the Bitcoin crowd, jump over here to the crypto crowd, and start getting people to understand how to use wallets. It's going to be a big one. Here was Elizabeth Warren, literally the day before this comes down. Notice, 9:35 on the 17th of January. And here's what she says. Zelle is a money-making bonanza for sophisticated scammers and fraudsters. This is the problem with Zelle. Big banks that own and operate the platform have a lot more work to do to make these victims whole and protect them. This is the problem around protecting consumers for fraud. If you do a credit card situation and your credit card gets jacked, the fraud system that is built into the Consumer Protection Privacy Act is going to protect you against those things. Zelle is a free-for-all, and I think, and this is something I'm finding myself actually agreeing with Warren a little bit more often, which is weird. So, but the point is, she's right, and I think this is going to be something that goes forward. You guys want to check out all of our bank fraud stuff out there, take a look at what's happening on our channel. We've done some stuff on Wells Fargo, where we may see banks and DeFi going in the future. Tons of it in here. So just go over and search banks on our channel. Last point I want to hit on is this right here. Who owns Zelle? There they are. JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, US Bank Corp, Capital One, etc., all the way in down to Truist, PNC, and so on. These are the biggest banks out there, guys. And why are they doing this? Because if they don't have to pay on the fraud like they do within the credit card systems, they're getting you to transfer to digital assets. It's less on their expense line and greater on their profit line. It's just that simple. This is why blockchain wins. And I think as we see more and more people start to understand this, because they're starting to get their first taste of digital currency that doesn't work. And this is why I think we're going to see a massive run up here in the coming years around blockchain. All right, so if you guys are listening in over on the podcast side of things, this is a short one. We do these kind of rundowns when there's a quick news piece. But the other thing we do is jump into a lot of deep dives here on the YouTube channel. All you have to do is just search Paul Barron Network. You'll find us over there. If you guys want to catch me, it's out there on Twitter, @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechBath.